Looking for a fulfilling career? Peoria Unified School District has openings at all levels. With outstanding benefits and professional growth opportunities, there's something to help you feel fulfilled and appreciated each and every day. Join the community where experienced educators have their expertise valued, where new teachers are supported from day one, and where those who are passionate about education reach their full potential. Welcome to Peoria Unified School District, where every day is an opportunity to make a difference. Visit us online. Looking for a fulfilling career? Peoria Unified School District has openings at all levels. With outstanding benefits and professional growth opportunities, there's something to help you feel fulfilled and appreciated each and every day. Join the community where experienced educators have their expertise valued, where new teachers are supported from day one, and where those who are passionate about education reach their full potential. Welcome to Peoria Unified School District, where every day is an opportunity to make a difference. Visit us online.
Hello, Peoria Unified Community, and welcome to the live stream of our Listen, Learn, and Lead event. I'm Danielle Airy, the district's Chief Communications Officer, and it is my pleasure to welcome you and thank you for giving up your time to be with us and to learn a little bit more with us tonight and have an opportunity to provide your feedback. I'm so pleased you've taken the time, and I think that you are in for a real treat this evening. To start us off, I want to take just a brief moment to thank our 5-member governing board. Each one of them donates and dedicates so much time to our school district, and so I want to thank them. One of the very most important things that they do as a governing board is to select, hire, and support our superintendent. And that's something that they've been working very hard on this year, and we're able to hire our incoming superintendent, Dr. Summers. Today, you're gonna have just a few minutes to get to know him a little bit more, and then at the end, we're turning it over to you for some homework. Without any further ado, it is my honor to introduce tonight our incoming superintendent, all the way from Colorado. He's official, he's here with us in our school district, and again, you're really going to enjoy learning a little bit more about him. Please welcome Dr. Summers.
Well, thank you so much, Ms. Airy, and thank you to our communications team for being able to promote and ensure that we have a process by which we can engage with you in this online and live stream format. And so it's my hope tonight to spend a little bit of time with you to introduce myself and a little bit of my background, as well as how I'm approaching the transition into Peoria Unified School District. And then, as Ms. Airy also spoke to, receive your voice and your input into where we currently are and where we are working forward to ensure that we are doing our part to ensure the success that we want for every single one of our students in an amazing school district. So, as I share a little bit of that background with you, I'd like you to start by thinking about a teacher and educator that maybe made the difference for you as you were growing up. And when you go back and when you think about who those individuals were that made that impact, for me, it starts with my mom and what she did for me, both as a parent as well as her role as a middle school math teacher for 35 years, was nothing short of extraordinary. And all of the insights and wisdom that she was able to share with me was something that I received and really perceived as being an opportunity as my childhood took more root to ensure that I was doing my part in a manner that I was being invested in, to take that and pay that forward. And so another individual that really played a critical part of my upbringing and my well-being as a student is who you see on the right of that picture, and that is Mr. Sam Dunlap. And Mr. D was one of the first community liaisons in the school district where I grew up. As Danielle mentioned, I come to you by way of Colorado Springs. And in my hometown, I just remember all of my early childhood youth experiences being that either at the home or in my public school. And the public schools that I attended, again, just invested in me. They catered to me. And I always thought to myself, if I could have the same type of impact or even a fraction of the impact as my mom and Mr. Dunlap had on me, that was going to be a career worth investing in. So the next slide is really just a little bit more about me personally from the perspective of my family. And so one of the things you'll get to know about me is I'm a proud father and a devoted husband, and we have 3 beautiful daughters. So in this picture you see a wedding, and center in the middle is my eldest daughter Serene and her husband Jacob, and they were just married in Mesa, Arizona about a month ago, and they recently graduated from Grand Canyon University. Where they were students and now are actually working and building their new family and growing their roots here in the Phoenix area. You'll also see my 2 daughters, Sydney and Sienna. Sydney is a freshman, actually just wrapping up with her freshman year out on the East Coast as a student athlete at Old Dominion. And then my youngest daughter, Sienna, who is completing her junior year of high school right now. And then, of course, my wonderful wife, Andrea, who's been by my side through thick and thin and through every step of this process. So our family is just so excited about working to join a community and join the family that is Peoria Unified. And one of the things that I am learning very quickly about Peoria Unified is how many families, how many staff, students, and individuals have been reared in our system and have taken the time to reinvest that effort, whether they be a staff member or if you're a parent and you have your students in the system. The pride that is Peoria, the identity that we have as one and as together is something that is nothing short of inspiring. And I think I've had the privilege of meeting so many people that tell me about their story either as a student and then coming back into the same system to serve, or they're telling me about wherever they are in that continuous journey. And it's just so exciting and so uplifting to see how our people invest into the type of community that takes care of all of our students, every day, as they are prepared to shape tomorrow. And so a little bit of that leadership philosophy that I bring to you through all of my career experiences, I really believe strongly in the value of we. So this is not an exercise or an enterprise that is me unto myself. I do not believe that leadership is simply a role or authority or a title from up above. It's really an opportunity to serve. It's an opportunity to lead from a place of how we work together, and how we team and how we grow is really a function of how we create those conditions so that we can thrive as we work together to address our greatest challenges. And so for me, a big part of that is making sure that I am taking the time to really get to know the individuals that comprise our community, and really spending the time to both listen as well as learn to help influence and shape that leadership path. I've actually said a couple of times as I've made this transition, and I remind our current acting superintendent, Mr. Molino, that he is still in that acting role for a couple more months, because it's so important for me that I take this time to really value a process before I just jump in and start doing, to really get to understand the landscape and to really understand what our greatest and most urgent challenges are, as well as what's working really well, to pursue every opportunity that we have as a system to grow and to learn together. So I've identified 3 specific priorities as part of a transition plan in partnership with that effort. And the first that you'll see here is aligning our work as a superintendent and governing board team. And again, I'm just so thankful and so grateful for a governing board that puts so much of themselves and the service and the sacrifice of stewardship and what it means to be in a community where we're all working together to achieve our most important outcomes. And so we're going to do that through a few different strategies and some different initiatives. And the way that we'll also continue to do that is by deepening our leadership capacity and continuing on a continuous improvement journey. And that commitment to getting better is something that really helps, I think, validate all of the work that's taken place, but really also identifies where we are and how we're best moving forward. And the most important piece then in making sure that we are doing that with our community is by fostering community engagement and those important connections. Something that's been a highlight for me over the past few weeks is really spending time in all of our campuses. I'm about halfway through those visits right now. And so to see our students and our teachers and our support staff and our leadership and families all come together, because we know the schools are the hub of our community, is really something I value. And if I haven't seen you yet, I look forward to creating more of a connection as I'm out and about and as we take some time to really forge those purposeful connections. So as we shift our focus a little bit more into the type of feedback and the type of input that's most helpful to us in this next step of the journey, what I want to touch on briefly are the 4 pillars or perspectives that are currently identified within our strategic plan. And the first of those pillars is student success. And what do we actually mean by student success? What are all the different ways that we can articulate how our students can experience and achieve success as a function of the programs and different initiatives that we currently have work at our schools? And how do we make sure that we are absolutely investing in the right types of approaches, as well as being very clear about what those measures are to know exactly how our students are growing and performing over time. And so we want to think about that both in terms of all the way down to the early childhood levels, as students grow through the system, and as they're preparing for whatever the future of their dreams may be, is something that we have an obligation and an opportunity to really shape and to share across our system. Another pillar that is of critical importance is obviously the safety and well-being. And so we think about how our students and our staff members and even our community are experiencing a sense of safety and a sense of well-being at each of our sites, and how that fabric of how we look out for each other and how we take care of each other is really lived and experienced. We also want to make sure that we are rigorous in the way that we are prepared for different crises or different types of events. And then we also want to make sure that we are investing in the right types of resources as well as the strategies that will promote the safety and well-being of everybody in our care. Also important in our strategic plan is the stewardship of resources. So here we want to make sure that we are optimizing and maximizing the way that resources are utilized and applied, that we are transparent and being good fiscal stewards with the resources that are entrusted to us as public servants, and that we're making sure that we have different models and different ways of connecting that information so that our community has a role to play in our decision-making process. And without going into any specific details on that, there are a lot of opportunities as we work through each and every stage of the school year. And so to think about where that's currently living and how that is breathing and how that's working, as well as give us opportunities to think in terms of innovation and some different strategies, there's a real benefit to making sure that all of those resources are being stewarded well. And then last but not least, of course, is how we are building and shaping community connections. And so this is a great opportunity and an example of how we are working to bridge, whether that's school to home types of connections, thinking about how our business partners and different organizations within the community come together as a whole. And how do we ensure that we are using technology as well as other tools and other strategies to promote a sense of community engagement and ownership in the direction that we're taking as a school district. And so we invite you to be part of the shaping of the future of where we're going as we embark on a 24-25 school year ahead and think about what do the next 5, 10, 15, even 20, 25 years go. Keeping in mind that we've come a long way in Peoria Unified, going all the way back to 1890, and being in a process where we continue to grow together so that we can ensure the best opportunities are available for every one of our students. And so that really brings us full circle into an invitation now to provide some additional insight and feedback. And there's 3 essential questions that I would invite you to reflect upon as we gear up to share a forum with you. And those 3 questions are, what should we absolutely keep doing? What are those traditions and what are those practices that are of absolute vitality and importance as we journey together? What are the things that we absolutely should consider that we should, stop doing? And why I ask that question is sometimes the plate feels really full and there's so many different ways that we can think about what's currently at work in our system. And in order for us to clear some room for potentially some new strategies and some innovative ways of moving forward, rather than continue to pile more on the plate, I invite you to reflect upon what are some potential ways that we could stop perhaps some different strategies or initiatives in order to clear some space for something that comes new. And that's that 3rd question. What is it that we should begin to think about as we shape a new future ahead? So with those 3 questions, and then relating back to our strategic plan, there is a link to a form that will appear both as a QR code as well as a link to a website that you can access at your leisure. And the way that form is designed is, number one, you will tell us which perspective from the community you are speaking to us from. And certainly you can click as many boxes as are applicable to your individual perspective. And then from there, there's a series of what should we keep, stop, and start doing relative to each perspective within the strategic plan. Now, some items may have a little bit of overlap, and that's totally okay. Wherever you feel your input should go in terms of the form, we want to make it as flexible and as useful to you as possible. But we would really encourage and invite you to reflect with us. And all of your responses will be collected, they'll be gathered, they'll be organized. And so I'm really excited about the opportunity from there to shape and then summarize that information, both in a formal report to our board, as well as a published report that will be shared with our community at a later date. And with all of that, I just want to close with one more big thank you and appreciation for not only your time and engagement through this type of an event, but just everything that you are investing into our system on behalf of every student every day, as we also think about how we take care of every staff member and every family. And together we are Peoria, we are strong, and we are united. And I look forward to building those bridges with you and forging a strong future yet to come. Have a beautiful evening, and we'll see you later. Take care.